Hello people, I am JABY KOAY. Joining me is ACHARA KIRK.
Hi.
So we're going to talk about KABALI, or KABALI. KABALI!
Yeah.
Yo, what the fuck?
I don't know how you say it. Listen, the song is cool. That's the first thing I want to say. The song has just got this intense kind of like gangster feel to it. It's like boom, boom,
so
boom.
swaggy.
Yeah, it's swaggy.
Yeah.
The reason why I wanted to watch this movie, because some of you might be wondering why the heck JABY would elect to watch KABALI. When I saw the trailer, it was just fascinating to me. I'm like, who the hell is this guy? I've never heard of him. And then a bunch of people, of course, went into the comments, were like, how do you not know who he is? And blah, 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 he's a legend. And I'm like, I'm sorry. From what I've been told, he's kind of like the Chuck Norris of India. That is what was said to me. I am not trying to compare American and Indian cinema by saying that, because I know some of you hate when I do that, even though it's just one of the things I do. I'm saying I was told by an Indian person, he's the Chuck Norris of India.
He's pretty badass, especially for his age. He's got so much swag in this film. He's all like, look at me, pop my collar, walking into the room with the cool soundtrack. I have to say, I really did enjoy a lot of the music and dance numbers. They were just so much fun, so much exuberance. It was awesome.
I'm gonna say straight up, this movie was a little bit of work for me. It's kind of all over the place. It's telling a lot of different stories, and the premise is a little bit confusing to me, and I don't know if there's a real life counterpart to what is being shown in the movie, but here we've got this gangster who has a school that is supposed to take people out of the life of crime, I guess, and put them back on the path of the righteousness or something like that. He's got a wife and a kid who turns out, spoiler alert by the way, who turns out is still alive.
Oh, he thinks they're dead.
You think, yeah.
He thinks his wife died while she was pregnant with his child, so he never knew that the child was born.
Right.
And then she died, he was taken to prison for a long period of time, and then he comes out and he wants to help his people. They're in Malaysia. He wants to get back at the other gang doesn't like him. Conflict ensues, and then he discovers the gang sends an assassin to kill him, who turns out to be his daughter that was raised by one of his enemies in the other gang.
That whole thing was a little awkward for me because it's like suddenly they're like, daddy, daughter, and they're like, as if no time had passed. I'm like, you didn't even know she was born. Like, you didn't know she was alive.
Yeah. For all intents and purposes, they're strangers to each other, and
Right.
yet as soon as he finds out that she's his daughter, it's all like sunshine, rainbows, and kittens.
And it's obviously not trying to be a dramatic film in the sense of Sarkar, right? It's not trying to be a dramatic film in a very realistic way. It's very out there and crazy, and very crazy.
But super entertaining at the same time, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly had moments that were interesting. I just don't know if it was my kind of movie, is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
I want to be positive, but I just don't know if it was my movie. The daughter and the mom coming back, I was just like, I don't get this movie. I don't understand.
It's a happy ending. Everything gets wrapped up, you know. It was nice. I was really happy when he was reunited with his wife, although it was super strange that they were already having a party or something, and then it turned into a party for I don't know. It was like they just had a big party. I was like, okay, fine, I'll go with that. It just seemed like so much time had passed. His daughter was grown, and his wife had been a maid in someone's home for so long.
Yeah.
But she never gave up hope that he would one day find her and come for her.
Yeah.
Even though people thought she was crazy. But he did.
Right.
So good for her.
The moment he got out of the prison, he like, instead of just walking out, he's like, hold on, I got to do some pull-ups first. I'm like, why? Why are you doing pull-ups?
To like look beefy for the other people. And he's, how old is he? Like 70, 60 or 70? I can do the pull-ups.
Right.
ACHARA can't do the pull-ups.
Well, he certainly had a nature about him that had like a threatening presence in a good way. It's like he certainly had a charisma when he walked into the room, where he tossed his hair.
Swag.
He was believable as this mafia leader who was also somehow sympathetic to the people.
Yeah, he was a mafia leader with ethics and morals, because they wouldn't do things, like they didn't sell drugs. Yeah,
he was anti-drugs.
Yeah, he had his rules and his morals, and he stuck to them.
Right.
So he was a good guy.
Right.
in a way.
In the end, I would say I have mixed feelings about the movie because there were certainly entertaining moments. There were certain moments that had cool action or were funny.
Yeah.
But then there were other moments where I was like, yeah, it's so far out of the realm of reality. It's not even funny to me. It's just like, that's just weird. I don't understand it. The way the relationship was played between KABALI and his daughter when they first met. I had the same feeling about Harry Potter and Sirius Black. As soon as he finds out Sirius Black is his uncle, he's like, oh, we're buddies now. I'm like,
but I guess in that situation as well as this one, when you have wanted that relationship for so long, as soon as it becomes available to you, you just jump on it.
I guess so. Yeah, I mean, I suppose that's true.
I don't know. I haven't been in that situation, so I don't know how realistic it is.
No, I mean, okay, for me, I had a cousin who is half Asian, half white from my Asian side. And I didn't have any cousins who were my age growing up. And when I finally found one, I was really excited. But I didn't get it twisted. I didn't know this woman. We met when we were 18, 19 years old. We spent our entire lives not knowing about each other's existence.
Right.
And so there was still this kind of trial period of trying to get to know who the other person is. We liked each other, like we had an affinity towards each other as cousins, but we still needed to get to know each other. I don't know if KABALI really, or Harry Potter, weird comparison, demonstrated that weird awkward moment, that awkward stage. Like you need that awkward stage. And the movie just was like, it's fine. We'll just keep
There's
going.
no time for that.
There's no time for that.
There's too much action.
A big chunk of the middle of the film was him at the school explaining things.
Yeah.
I didn't know why. It was just a weird plot.
There was so much going on, and there was that girl at the school as well who he kind of felt fatherly feelings towards, and then ultimately she betrayed him, but she didn't really want to.
I also wonder about the subtitles. I wonder about if the subtitles are accurately reflecting what they're saying. Because oftentimes, if the subtitles we got were accurate, they were saying exactly what was on their mind all the time. And the thing is, in real life, people don't do that. You can't say exactly what the character is thinking, otherwise it's weird. People don't do that. Again, we're talking about a film starring a guy who is basically the Indian Chuck Norris.
Yeah.
So maybe this is what people come to expect, is this kind of cardboard dialogue, just crazy action and weird plot twists like a soap opera or something.
Well, and I think if you go in there and you're expecting that sort of thing, great. It's really entertaining. There's lots of twists and turns where you're like, what the hell?
I mean, I watched 8 seasons of 24. And I watched all the Fast and the Furious movies, and there are certainly weird things where people come back from the dead. I'm like, I get it. I've accepted it in certain situations, but the thing is, in 24, like I was emotionally invested in wanting that person to come back. Is the thing.
Right.
I didn't know who this daughter was. It's like, oh, she's back. Okay, so who is she though? Like, we don't even know anything about her personality, what she likes. Does she like apples? Or is she allergic to peanuts? Like,
I mean, you don't know that stuff about a lot of characters in films,
no,
though.
I'm being hyperbolic. Like, I'm being hyperbolic. I'm just saying, like, you just don't know her, and frankly, if I don't know who her, then KABALI doesn't know her, is what I'm getting at. It's like,
but he wants to know her. He's been longing for her his whole life. He had given up on her, and now there's this slice of hope for a family that he always wanted, and all that happiness. So.
Right.
Why not?
Right. Yes, those things are true. But I just didn't see any conversations where he's like, are you allergic to peanuts? I know this is descending into like chaotic, silly goofiness. I'm just, like, what it comes down to is I have mixed feelings about the movie. And whether they are legitimate mixed feelings or not, they are there. There are things I liked, and there are things I did not like. Would I watch this movie a second time? Maybe if I was really drunk and had my Indian friends over who could maybe, like, I would need to have a person who speaks the language of the film watching it with me to let me know if the subtitles are off or not, because I don't know if I'd watch this again with the normal subtitles.
It was a fun romp.
Yeah.
You know.
It was a fun romp.
Did it make a lot of sense? No. Occasionally not, but I'm not mad about it.
Right. Quick shout out to Vijay. Thank you, Vijay, for contributing on patreon.com. Really appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. And anyone else who's interested in contributing on Patreon, please go to patreon.com/JabyKOAY. And if you can't, I understand, just keep hanging out with us, because that's cool too. Thank you guys so much. I'm Jaby KOAY. Peace out.